Alright, we are back for game 2 of Gentleman Gaming versus Twisted Fusion here. As game 1 went to Twisted Fusion in a pretty quick manner. They more or less dominated all three lanes and took a relatively easy victory over their opponents. Then we'll see if Gentleman Gaming can perhaps turn the tables here in game 2. So far, bans, we've got Parasite and Kronos getting taken out of the Legion side as they are removing the popular suicide option, and Parasite, I think, is a jungler that at this point is a little underrated. He wasn't super good until the recent patch change that made a whole bunch of changes to the jungle. Since then, his ability as a jungler has, I think, substantially increased, partially because other junglers have fallen off, especially Ophelia, but also because he's a little bit better now than he was. Regardless, they will not be able to play him, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Hellborn going to take out Rhapsody and Tempest, so each side banning out a jungler, and Rhapsody going to be removed from the pool, as the guys on Twisted Fusion do not want to have to deal with that very, very powerful support who dropped a huge ultimate at the end of that last game to basically win a team fight pretty handily. So, bans making plenty of sense here, not a huge surprise on any of them, and Legion's going to start their picking phase off with Puppet Master and Drunken Master, two heroes they actually banned out in the last game, and apparently feeling like those are quite powerful that they want to get rid of them, don't let the other team pick them up first when they were on the Legion, and now that they are the Legion side, let's take both. And I can't really disagree with either of those decisions. Obviously Puppet a very, very strong hero, likely going to see him in that bottom lane, and Drunken the a similar description, very, very strong. A little more versatile, of course, as he could either be played as a suicide or a mid laner. I hope we'll be seeing him in the mid, as I like his suicide potential. It is quite strong, but I think he's a little bit better in the middle lane. Regardless, Hellborn's side has picked up both Glacius and Swiftblade, so there's some pub strats for you right there. The old Glacius Swiftblade combo that you run in the short lane, and Ice Imprisonment plus Blade Frenzy means Bloodlust, so we'll see if the Legion side has any strats to deal with that. I suspect that they won't be caught by such an obvious and really noobish strategy. But hey, sometimes you can surprise people who were used to playing competitive games with stuff that they never see because it's the work of 1500s. And who knows? Maybe that'll work out in their favor. Gauntlet can be the third pick here for the Legion side, so likely going to see Drunken Master Suicide at that point, considering Gauntlet almost never played in the Suicide role. Legion side at this point looking for one support, and either a support or a jungler. I would imagine they'll go the jungle role, considering last game they did the same thing. And Drunken can certainly play it in the middle as a solo or with a support, and the same goes for Puppet Master in that bottom lane, so I'm suspecting we'll see a jungle and a support pick out of the Legion side. Hellborn, meanwhile, finishing off their draft with Bubbles, could certainly be played in either the mid or the suicide role, so giving them some versatility there. Once again, looking for either a jungler or a second support, as well as a suicide or initiator, depending on what they want to do with the Bubbles. I do prefer Bubbles a little bit as a suicide. I think he does extremely well in that role, and also does well as a mid hero, but there are a few more viable mid heroes, in my opinion, than suicides. You got Magnus, you've got Kraken, who does both well, but obviously, I guess he really does both well. Pestilence, Pebbles, well, I guess Meraxis even a little bit. Lodestone here we don't see anymore. Not sure why. I think we should. It seems to me that he's pretty good, but anyway, obviously the rest of the hook heroes, Devour and Prisoner 945, and then the suicide options, Retro Tag is banned out, so that's not going to be available. Kraken is an option, as I mentioned before. Rally's on the board, although I don't like that hero very much. You've got weird stuff. Revenant, hey, Madman's available, so a few suicide options, but I feel like the mid is perhaps a little bit more diverse in terms of the options to fill that role. And the Legion side are addressing both the fact that they're looking for a potential mid-suicide, or the fact that they're looking for potential both mid or suicide with the Wretched Hagman, as that hero, of course, can play either of those roles, as well as the short lane role if they choose to do so. Pebble is also going to get taken out here for that mid potential, and Legionnaire addressing a potential jungler, as obviously Slot Please playing Legionnaire in the last game did quite well, although I'm not sure if it was really a ban-worthy pick, but hey, not bad. Hellborn, meanwhile, going to ban out Solstice, Keeper of the Forest, and Ophelia, so removing a lot of the jungle options here. And once again, I like that decision. I think I'm not sure it was guaranteed that Legion would be running a jungle, but I think they planned to. and now they pretty much can't. Cthulhu not available for competitive play at this point. I assume this is a tournament rules game. It's a scrim, so I don't actually know. But you could go Blood Hunter, I guess. I think that there's been some talk of a viable Blood Hunter jungle strat. You could go for Balfagor, who can supposedly jungle early on. We haven't really seen it too much, but if you're really, really bent on going for a jungler, you could do that. You could also do something like the Magmas or Geomancer, where you pull a wave into the jungle and use that to kill some camps. But don't know. Martyr here will be the pick, so we'll almost certainly be seeing a support Martyr there, and I don't mind that really. I think this is a hero that's got some potential, and I don't think we should see him very often. It should be a very situational pick. I'm not convinced this is the situation for it. I'd like to see it in a little less gank-oriented lineup, a lineup that isn't so great on burst, and with Swiftblade Ultimate, with Bubbles, and now with Devour Hook moving heroes around. Although, I mean, they didn't know that was going to happen when they picked the Martyr, but still. I'm not sure this is the greatest Martyr game in the world. That said, I'm excited to see how he does. I mean, it's not a hero we get to see too often, so no doubt one that will be fun to watch. So the Devour pick on Hellborn, meanwhile, that's going to be in the middle, no doubt, and so we'll be seeing a Bubble Suicide and another support here, I would suspect. We could be seeing an aggressive tri-lane here, actually. It could certainly be the defensive dual lanes with Glacius and Swiftblade in the top, Devourer, and a second support in the middle, and Bubbles in the Suicide. We could also see a tri-lane Swiftblade, of course, a hero that runs very, very well in the tri-lane, so that would give them an option. We could see that, and then a short lane Bubbles and an aggro tri-lane, or obviously the Suicide Bubbles and a defensive tri-lane. If they're going to run a tri-lane, I always prefer the aggro tri-lane, especially because the Legion's tri-lane isn't super great. Master, Puppet, and Martyr, I believe, would be their best combination. They could also run Drunken, but Puppet CC tools and general damage suggest he'd be a little bit better in that tri-lane, I think. I still do think Hellborn's tri-lane will be a little bit more powerful, especially if they pick somebody up to a heavy CC here. Torture, probably not a great option. Pyromancer, I think, would work pretty well, giving their stun, and it's going to be the Revenant. So that doesn't give me too much insight. I don't really like him as an addition to a tri-lane. It'd be good for the defense, I think, with the Essence Shroud, but not too heavy on the offense. And usually when you're in your tri-lane, you want it to be heavily offensive. So I think I favor the defensive dual lanes at this point. Although I'm just not sure I like the Revenant pick either. I'm not sure what he would add to the Devourer. I guess he could help Swiftblade out by making him invisible and letting him get onto somebody with that spin. The issue is, we're going to see a Suicide Drunken, and Drunken does very, very well against Swiftblade because obviously all of his spells are physical, so he just doesn't care about the spin. He can push Swifty away and, you know, get away that way. So, is Swiftblade going to do super well against the Drunken? I suspect not. In that sort of situation, I'd like to see him run an aggressive, especially because Puppet would really, really hate that spin. And Revenant going to head top here, while the other members of the Hellborn side run bottom. So Legion's lanes are a lot more predictable, I think. Puppet Master going to be in the bottom lane with Gauntlet, Mid, Drunken, Suicide. I suspect we'll be seeing defensive dual lanes, as really the only other option is the defensive tri-lane, which is probably not necessary. And I think they really want to pair somebody mid with Gauntlet to get a nice kill lane, which is absolutely the correct way to go. So I think we'll see Gauntlet and Master in the middle with Martyr and Puppet in the bottom and a Suicide Drunken. In that situation, screw it, run the aggro try. Shut down the Puppet. I don't really like this Revenant pick. I like Revenant a lot as a hero, actually. I think he's got some serious potential. Not only as a support, but as a Suicide as well. Hook there, not going to connect, and now the Hellborn might be in a little bit of trouble. They've used 2 spells without getting too much out of it. They have to retreat. Also, Hook might be missing from Gauntlet, though, so that's going to be pretty much the end of that. Dev has another hook up relatively soon, so he might be looking to re-engage here. I'm not sure this is the greatest idea. Hook there, once again gonna miss. So, meh. Okay, this is going to be a support Devour. That's what's happening here. So I completely misread this. It's going to be a solo short Revenant up against a Drunken Master, and Drunken should have pretty much no way of killing him. Ooh, we should have run straight down the lane. That was a mistake. Go jungle with him. Yeah, that's what he's going to try to do, but obviously that camp being blocked out, so he'll go to the pole camp here. Or perhaps just drag them behind the tower. Yeah, so he'll drag them behind the tower here. And that won't hurt him too badly. Drunken Master, meanwhile, going to do something similar, so two separate CS battles sort of going on up here. And of course the middle lane, Bubble is going to be taking some aggression there, as Gauntlet and Master Arms are good at that, but going to be really difficult to kill this Bubbles. As Bubbles was just generally a very strong defensive area between the Shell Serve and a Take Cover. It's more or less going to be impossible for the Legion side to kill him. He can really easily avoid the hook with the Take Cover, and if he does get hooked, the Shell Serve out, of course. And then he's fine. Bottom lane, meanwhile, we're going to see what happens down here. Puppet Show is on Swift Blade. He's got the spin available below, and we're going to do a ton of damage to Puppet Master here. But not enough, as Puppet has enough health to survive that with the 2 Marks of the Novice, the 2 Minor Totems, and some trees. Also going to pop a health potion here, so he's more or less going to be out of regen at this point. Obviously, Martyr has quite a bit left himself, the health pot and 2 tangos. Master Arms could rotate bottom here, so they're looking to run the defensive tri-lane against the Legion side's aggro tri. And Swift Blade taking a stun there, so is this, unless this is a support Swifty, I don't know. It seems like they're giving the farm to Devour. And Loki is their mid player, so this is actually a support Swift Blade. I can't say I saw that coming. Nice counter ward here. We'll spot out the ward site from Helmort. And middle lane Gauntlet versus Bubbles now. Should be in favor of Bubbles. Could have some issues CSing like that because Gauntlet, of course, having access to the hatchet. A little bit nice for him. But Bubbles should be able to harass much more effectively than Gauntlet and potentially get a kill. Gauntlet should not be able to kill this Bubbles. Off to the side here, Puppet Master going to take a Puppet Show, but also going to get a spin on top, and he's definitely going to fall here. So Bloodlust will go to slot please on that Swift Blade. Hook onto Glacius, that will connect, plus the Rot, and that's, sorry, it's Martyr. What am I even talking about? Glacius, the one over here. So countering the counter ward there, but picking up a couple of kills. Really valuable. And Dev's health pot can get knocked off by a random archer there, a little unfortunate, but whatever. So already the tri-lane not going particularly well for the Legion side, but very much the opposite for Hellborn. Swiftblade over here seems like he's looking to try to set up onto something, but not sure what. Meanwhile, Devour taking a lot of punishment. Strings go down as well. Martyr going to drop the slow, but obviously full health doesn't do too much. He still is going to die as the last couple of auto attacks come in and nab the kill. So nice counter kill there, as the Legion side picks something up. Swiftblade hiding in the trees. He's in the trees. And Master will find him here. So they know exactly where he's at. But Puppet gonna get turned on a little bit. Swiftblade's Blade Frenzy going down. We'll see if he can get away from this. Hook onto Martyr. Nope, Puppet definitely gonna fall here when we're auto attack. We'll finish him off now. Martyr gonna be in trouble as well. The Rot doing a ton, and the Lucky will get the last auto attack there. Obviously, taking the Retribution is Swiftblade, but does not die. So, they lose Devour, but then come back and pick up a couple more kills. And so doing pretty well on here in this lane. Look at the GPM chart. They're pretty substantially ahead already. 2k gold, 1.5k experience, and that's not a big lead, except for the fact that it's 4 minutes into the game. So, top lane, Revenant, gonna get jumped on by Drunken, and he's gonna take a lot of damage here. Essence Strad goes down. Drunken gonna have to look for the random stagger to get a kill. Not gonna be successful, as Revenant is hiding off to the side. And actually, Revenant the highest farmer in the game. Interesting. Wouldn't have seen that coming. Aegis will be stacked here by Glacius. Hook there onto Puppet, well done, and the rot damage will go down, plus the Blade Frenzy is going to get a pretty easy kill. So, tries to put Puppet show, but obviously not super successful there. Once again, picking up a kill on Puppet, who's now 1-3-0, so Gentleman Gaming, as they are known, once again, not off to a great start. As the laning phase is going particularly well for them at all. Swiftblade has picked up his Ghost Marchers at 280 GPM. Not bad. Regen room will be bottled there by Devourer. Middle lane, actually, shockingly enough, Gauntlet getting a hook there, plus a Gauntlet Blast, Infernalist ability, one more auto attack. Needed to throw the Shell Surf before the take cover, but oh well. Burst damage from Gauntlet a little bit too high, and they're gonna look to set up here onto him. Regen rune gets popped by Swiftblade. Looking for a hook, should be able to connect. There it is. And we'll see if Gauntlet can get out of this. Actually, yeah, nice hook over the ledge. The rot damage is still doing a lot, though, and Swiftblade will be able to get back up here. So, good counter kill there onto Gauntlet as he tries to get the return, but it's obviously unsuccessful. Bottom lane, Puppet's gonna get some control here and some CS as a result of Devourer being absent for a while. And top lane, Revan continuing to farm quite well at 315 GPM compared to Drunken at 146. Seems to me like Drunken should be doing a little bit better in this lane. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Master Realm's going to get hooked in once again. Charge up goes down, but not nearly enough. Also gets the wings, but it's going to be substantial. Hook from Gauntlet will miss. And it's obviously this where a Psych running Plague of Vision, so they know exactly where the Hellborn side is. Dev looking for a hook. Not going to find it. Puppet Show goes down on top of him, though. Revenant is here with the Essence Shroud. We'll see if they can do anything about it. Puppet going to take a whole bunch of damage. Gets the wings from Martyr, but not going to be enough. He will fall thanks to the Dev ult. Master of Arms looking to run away here. Hook is available. Totally whiffing there. And here comes Drunken Master, though. Master of Arms going to still fall. Revenant going to try to get out of here. Gets the dust down, but Glacius Ultimate doing plenty of damage. Drunken will also fall here. Gauntlet coming in off to the side. Not a good plan, buddy, here. Puts the Gauntlet Blast down, and will get the kill onto Glacius, in fact, as Bubbles is also stunned, but he gets the Kelp fielded. Gauntlet actually hooks away, takes the Kelp field, though, and will fall. Shell Surf gonna finish off Martyr, and that's the Genocide. So, Hellborn losing their primary support there. Unfortunate, but they get 5 kills, and I think they'll take that. Bottom tower now going to be pressured quite a bit. And Dev's looking for a hook. Will be able to land it really easily. There it is, Martyr, just you're dead, buddy. Next. They've got a Word of Sight here that had to have seen Devourer. Why do you port in when he's sitting right there, clearly about to hook you? I mean, the only way that you do that is if you're just not paying attention. Obviously, Bubbles illusion there, so even if it gets jumped, it won't matter. And they realize really quickly that, yeah, this is a fake. I do like this Glacius ult. It's pretty well done. And they're gonna come around on Glacius or Gauntlet and Master of Arms here. Master of Arms is level 3. Gauntlet gonna fall pretty easily. Taking on damage. Actually, let's see return of Devour. that was surprising. He took a lot of damage right off the bat, and then all of a sudden didn't take any damage. So, good counter kill. As they pick up the smackdown onto Mr. Devourer. Notable that both supports on the Legion side are level 4, where that the level 6 Blade is just level 7 Swiftblade, excuse me, who is sort of not a support anymore at 346 gold per minute. It's kind of hard to know what to call him. They sort of ran like a dual farmer strat in this bottom lane where, I mean, Devourer's getting most of the CS, but jungle Swiftblade would go into the jungle every so often and spin on some creeps and get some CS. As a result, he's actually at 43-0 compared to 16-2 for Dev. Off to the side here, Puppet Master going to get jumped. Swift Slashes are available, and he's in some trouble. There they go. Blade Frenzy going to help finish them off, plus the Ice Imprisonment, and there's the Eat right onto Devourer, or Drunken Master, excuse me, from Devourer. Off to the side here. Swifty taking a lot of damage, will fall here with the Infernal Instability. No, Ice Imprisonment stops to Gauntlet, and he's going to be okay. Gauntlet now out of mana, actually. Ultimate from Glacier's getting channeled, doing a ton of damage, and that's going to force the entire Legion side to back off. Shellsurf comes in here, will snipe out Gauntlet. Kelfield on the 2. Martyr going to fall. Also Drunken Master in a lot of trouble. Off to the side here, Master of Arms will have to retreat under his tower. We'll see if he can live. I would be a little surprised if he managed to get out of here. Word is going to spot him out. And they know exactly where he is, and now he's going to die.
Legion tower.
Does not have a teleport. He's got 3 Mire Totems. Shellsurf can find him, and there he is. Hello.
Shadow Warrior. Silent but deadly. Massacre.
That's a really terrible smackdown thing. Silent but deadly. Just, it's a fart. I don't know if that was the intent, but it's not a ninja thing, it's a fart. It would make sense if the rest of the pack were jokes, and maybe they are, I'm just stupid. I don't know. Gauntlet gonna get eaten here by Devourer. He's gonna get pushed back to Drunken Master though, and Blade Frenzy is going down. Gauntlet taking a lot of damage though. We'll see if he can get out of this. I suspect he can't. Nope. Thus the Revelation goes off onto a few, but the rest of the Hellborns are going to back off after they get that kill on Gauntlet, feeling like they don't have enough health to pursue, and they're not wrong. So remember how badly Game 1 went? If you don't, because you didn't watch it, that's fine. But it didn't go well for GMG, let's just say that. And Game 2, even worse. 19-4 hero kills. And let's take a look at the GPM charts here. Yeah, Hook Damir onto Master of Arms. Easy kill. Ice Imprisonment goes down onto Drunken Master. He will get stopped. Swift Slash is once again available. Going to try to finish off this Drunken Master. Gets blocked out actually by Puppet Master, and that helped get him killed. I think he was dead anyway, but certainly not the best thing anyway. Puppet now going to try to teleport out. Retribution goes down to the Swiftblade, but now Martyr's going to die as he's trying to juke here. Hook completely whiffs, but the Shellsurf from Bubbles is nice there. Hook and Infernal Stability, so Gauntlet will pick off Devourer here. But we'll see if he can actually live through Mr. Bubbles and Swiftblade. He can. Word of Sight, providing some vision, as they know Swiftblade's here. But Hook there onto Gauntlet, just barely connects. And he's going to get stunned out by the Gauntlet Hook, though. And looking at a CC off, but not going to happen. Top lane, meanwhile, Revenant's just playing PvE, getting a tower kill, but Swiftblade going to fall here in the background as he tries to get a kill on Gauntlet. That's not going to happen. In the meantime, both Master of Arms and Puppet Master will die. And Gauntlet, you're in some trouble, buddy. There goes the Rod and the ultimate from Devourer. Another kill. So, 3 down to the Legion side, and once again, I would not be surprised to see an early CC vote, as I think GMG is just outmatched in this game. So, Twisted Fusion looking pretty good.
Hellborn had destroyed a Legion tower.
As both games have been relatively easy stomps against a team that we really, I don't think I've ever seen before. So, I don't know how good they are so far. They haven't looked particularly good. Twisted Fusion is a team we've seen before though, so maybe they're good. It's just hard to tell because Twisted Fusion is substantially better. On the other hand, it's not like Twisted Fusion is like the best team ever, so how badly they got stomped in these games is perhaps still an indication that maybe GMG has some work to do. Regardless, the Scrim series will go to 0 to Twisted Fusion, who played very well in both games, and GMG going to drop them, perhaps learn some things, and hopefully come back stronger in their next matches and whatever else they choose to do in competitive HON. And that'll do it for this series.